but no, 7:34. We're going to be on time. Austrian Air, that's for instance upgrade. They marked an upgrade. I got an upgrade on that one from work. Yeah, service class. Usually they print it like in Europe. They have this same kind of ticket stock. They actually print a C, meaning okay, this is a business class ticket. Austrian Air 257. Essentially the same information. I didn't check in any luggage. I was the 12th person to check in just because I checked in the morning when I went to Vienna, and on the way back I was already checked in for the return flight. And you can also see that I was the ticket was given to me in Vienna by a certain agent. That's something it's sometimes interesting to know. I mean, if anything bad happens to the ticket, they can track down, okay, who actually printed the ticket for you, who gave it to you. So it's not really interesting when people are asking, like, okay, did I check in like 60 tons of luggage or something? It's just an agent ID. It's just, don't worry. More tickets. What's interesting about those is you have American Airlines 001, but it's a Lufthansa flight from Frankfurt to Cairo. Lufthansa is part of the Star Alliance, and American Airlines is part of the One World Alliance, which is like totally different programs. There's no legal reason why I should have a ticket on American Airlines ticket stock with a Lufthansa flight. Same Hamburg to Palma de Mallorca, which I'm kind of not so proud of actually going there, to Ballermann and the tourist area, but it's on LAN, which is also South American airline, part of the One World Alliance. Why would I have a ticket, Lufthansa flight on that? That's also this Zurich to Hamburg, also on US Airways. In this case, for instance, I checked in one piece of luggage weighing 14 kilograms. God knows why it's so much luggage. So the question is, why would I have that? And this is essentially what the fuel number is about. And if you're seeing tickets from other people and you see like, oh, they have this kind of combination, which is not like the typical numbers, at some point you're going to get used to all those numbers and say, oh, you did something which you're not supposed to do. How did the booking systems evolve? I mean, you've probably seen it in a bad old movie where they have like really a seat map at the gate, and they have like small stickers that have the seat numbers, and they really take a sheet of the small stickers, take a sticker and put a sticker on a paper ticket and really give you a seat or something. This is how it all began. But at some point they figured out, okay, we have to do this electronically. Every single airline started doing its own system. It was really expensive, so the bigger airlines said, okay, why don't we join forces and use small carrier? You can migrate into my system, and if a travel agent then looks up a flight, somehow the program was a bit biased, and like on the first page it only showed like the flights of the carrier that operated the system, and tried to sell more flights on the main carrier, and wasn't really open-minded about what kind of flight it was offering. Not only the cheapest option or the best option, just somewhat biased to the owner of the system. Then the carriers agreed, okay, it's not a good idea to have this, let's still join forces, let's found companies that are kind of independent of all the airlines. They're still funded by the airlines, but just because the airlines are paying the money to take care of everything. Amadeus is probably the most commonly known system. They do lots and lots of air travel stuff. You can also book hotels, rental cars and everything, cruises, everything through them. Worldspan, Galileo are also big. Depending on which airline you're booking your flights with, they might use a different system. And then there's also smaller, Sabre is actually not that small, but there's some like Asian, Japanese, Korean, smaller market systems which are only really important to the smaller, different markets. But now we have like big systems that have information for pretty much every single airline in one system. So you only have to work with one system to get all the information. Okay, how do we get to a fare? Probably you know the newsletters. I'm just taking examples from Lufthansa here. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, you get an email saying, "Oh, these are the offers that you can book this week." This is like presented in a way that actually an end customer would understand it. This is a PDF that would be sent out to the travel agencies day before, week before, essentially saying the same stuff on a technical level. They're saying this is from May this year. This is saying, okay, we're from May to June. We are selling tickets to all different sorts of destinations identified by the airport code for different base prices on Lufthansa tickets or Lufthansa or Austrian. different prices. These are the booking codes, all L and T. This is also the fare basis. So this is, you can go from essentially from Germany to all these destinations for this base price, but you also have to comply with all these rules. These are not all rules. This is just general basic rules that you usually have to comply with, like when can I travel, are there any blackout dates, how long do I have to stay, can I fly back the same day like on a business trip, or do I have to stay for a week? There's something called the Sunday rule, which usually is used to distinguish between business fares, where you're like flying out on Monday, flying back on Tuesday, and if you're not on business, usually you would be, or if you're not on a business trip, usually you would be home on the weekend. So if you imply a rule that you have to stay between Saturday and Sunday, from Saturday to Sunday morning, you eventually mask out most of the business travel, because most business travelers would try to be at home Saturday or Sunday. So if you make a rule that says you have to be on the road from Saturday to Sunday, you would only catch tourists. So if you imply a rule, this immediately makes it like a tourist fare. It's not tailored towards business customers unless business customers are gone for more than a week. So that's why they always have, or often have, those 6-day or Sunday rule paragraphs in there. So if you're a bit flexible on your travels and you're wondering why your ticket is so expensive, try to build in the stay from Saturday to Sunday. Often it does get a bit cheaper, just by staying a day extra or just flying out the day before. Does help. If I look at how the same fare that we had here is loaded in the system, I'm using a site called expertflyer.com. It's an easy way to look up inside the Amadeus reservation system on how this stuff looks. You have to pay for access. You can get some of the information for free. Also going to show that and show how to get that information. But I'm just paying like, I don't know, $8 a month or something just to get that information presented nicely because I'm using it daily. So I don't want to spend too much time looking on other sites of information. I just want to go there, have like nice bookmarks and stuff. So we can see that Lufthansa filed an L fare for the 229 euros from Frankfurt to Dubai, which we should find here. Where's Dubai? Oh, there's DXB interesting, 199 euros. It's different fare. Yeah, the LNPDE whatever fare. And essentially we find the same information here. The fare names both on Austrian and Lufthansa, booking class, price, and the same restrictions that were written out on the previous page on the right side, like when I'm allowed to fly, there's Sunday rules, the amount of days I have to purchase. And using that system I can also look up like which routes am I allowed to fly, what other rules do apply a bit more. For instance, routing rules. If I want to buy a ticket from Frankfurt to Dubai, obviously I can fly Frankfurt to Dubai, and this says it has to be on either Lufthansa, which is the obvious choice, Austrian, which doesn't fly itself but only has a codeshare, or Brussels Airlines, which is also only a codeshare. But I could also fly Frankfurt on Lufthansa to, for instance, Hamburg to Vienna, and Vienna to Dubai. So for the same price, I get more flights. If I know the rules, I have to pay like, I don't know, 2 euros here, 3 euros here for airport surcharges, but I can extend my routing and I might be able to squeeze in a nice trip like Frankfurt to Hamburg and then a couple of days later down to Vienna, stop in Vienna for a day or two, and then off to Dubai, essentially for the same price. It really depends on the rules. Some other additional information like the same fare price, when it's valid, whatever, other kind of stuff. But these are the so-called routing rules, which we have to comply with and which we can use to our advantage to get more bang for our buck. The fare rules are pretty easy. And that's not even all. We can look at the notes. Lots and lots of text, which is actually passed by the system, and if the system makes mistakes, you can have fun with it. If it just says, okay, if some condition is given, then this all applies, and somehow that condition doesn't match for whatever reason, that certain block doesn't apply, and you can have fun. Technically, what does it say? As I said, you have blackout dates, minimum stay. permitted flights and carriers. Just because it says you can fly between Frankfurt and Dubai doesn't say that you can take any single carrier that's flying there, for instance, not Emirates. There might be some restrictions. Stopovers, are you actually allowed to stop over in Vienna or Hamburg on the way out? Can you get off the plane for a week, or do you have to directly connect? And how much money do I have to pay if I have to cancel my flight? Or if I want to make a change and make a change before or while I'm there. Those things are essentially written down in the fare rules, and usually you can just pull it up. But if you go to a regular booking site, even if it's just Expedia or something, or the carrier itself, usually you can just read it in written English, which is usually much easier. Some rules that are in there, it also lists combinations. Can you combine the fare that we've just seen with other fares on the same ticket to make like a combination? There's something called add-ons, which is interesting, or end-on-end. End-on-end, for instance, is I have a fare from A to B, another fare from B to C, and for instance, I'm flying Frankfurt to Dubai, and I want to connect from Dubai to Mumbai, and I have a different ticket, or the same ticket, different fare from Dubai to Mumbai, and I then can fly back. For instance, I need to do this if Lufthansa wouldn't publish a fare from Frankfurt to Mumbai. If I cannot get there, but I mean, obviously I can just connect in Dubai and just get on the plane, it works. So if that ticket allows me to add these add-ons, I can just essentially have two different fares, combine them on one ticket, and if I miss my connection in Dubai, it's simply because it's on one ticket, they have to get me on the next flight. So this is an add-on, this happens in the background, often you just don't see it. I believe I have a screenshot where it's actually visible that it did happen automatically. You don't have to worry about this. Just normal, and then you also have add-ons. Add-ons is, I have ticket A to B and back to A, and I have this like a one-way ticket B to C. This becomes interesting afterwards as well, because for now just remember, add-ons permitted is a way to save money. Doesn't add anything if you're just flying Frankfurt, Dubai, return, doesn't do any changes to your ticket, but it allows you to do some tricks. Taxes, fees. If you look at the ticket, often you see like, oh, I can fly for 99 euros, or the 199 euros to Dubai. You say, oh, that's cheap, I want to do this. And then it's, okay, but you have to pay 58 euro fuel surcharge. In this case, this is like a trip to the United States, immigration fee, customs fee, some Irish surcharge, international arrival surcharge. Essentially, oh, you might be using the restroom at the airport, so you should pay for that. September 11th security fee. Oh, we're gonna search you. You better pay for that.
It's not in October.
Facility charge, as I said, the restroom. All sorts of stuff. Sometimes, like the United Kingdom is like charging money. Oh, you're doing tourism, and we wanna like pay for our schools. So you as a tourist better pay for us, so that we can do this stuff. But if you look at that, in this case, London to Dublin and. This for instance also already a combined fare, like it's end-to-end, and New York, Toronto combined. The base fare was 82 euros each direction, and then there's like 60 euros here as a surcharge, another 70 euros here, another 100 euros here, and suddenly from 160 euros I get to 470. That's all like hidden surcharges. They're not really hidden, but you don't expect them to be there. So the goal essentially is to get rid of some of the surcharges. Obviously, the obvious way would, just don't fly through the UK, then you're going to save this, which is a nice way of doing it, actually. If you don't fly to the US, well, you don't have to. You can save the €1.78, but it doesn't give you anything if you want to go there. But I mean, not flying through the United Kingdom. Whoa! I mean, if I can just start, for instance, in Amsterdam or Vienna, and I don't have to pay that surcharge, I would save 70 euros. It might actually make sense to not start by end in the United Kingdom because I save that money. So. Something to look at.